What is going on, guys? Money Webby here, back again on Thursday, coming off a great night with the plays yesterday on Wednesday. We had all of our guys, for the most part, reach 5 times value plus. The only disappointing play was Victor Oladipo, who I ended up turning into DeMar DeRozan on Twitter last second, and I guess I shouldn't have done that because DeRozan scored less than Oladipo. Somehow DeRozan didn't do that well, even though the Raptors put up almost 130 points. So that was kind of disappointing. But all of the other plays, Kemba Walker, the guy couldn't hit a shot. He went 6 for 25 and still returned 5 times value there. So it could have been a much bigger night from him. But Kevin Love dropped 49 DraftKings points at only 6,400, so over 7 times value. With K-Love, DeAndre Jordan had a huge game, 20 and 20, 7 times value from him. Jabari Parker got a little bit lucky with that one with Giannis going out of that game. But Parker still did very well, getting 8 times value in that one. He only got like 5 extra minutes than what he was normally playing. So, but it was definitely kind of lucky that Giannis went out. And then my lottery pick of the night, Check Diallo, returned 6 times value. He was 1 rebound off the double-double. I was kind of pissed off when they pulled him out of that game. But the plays, all in all, were great plays last night. So drop a like in the video if you ran out any of those guys, especially like Jabari Parker, K-Love, and DeAndre Jordan. All great plays last night. And we're back here again on Thursday. It should be another good slate. 6 games on it. A little bit... some of these teams definitely aren't playing for that much. Like, you got a couple of these teams that are kind of tanking or whatever have you. Definitely would rather lose than win, probably, if they wanted to be honest about it. But some of these teams are playing each other, so it's tough to be like that obvious and kind of like openly tank, especially as bad as the Bulls have been. But it should be a good one. So let's just get into it, I guess. My first guy is going to be Dennis Schroder here to put him in that point guard spot at 6,500 against Sacramento. We know that De'Aaron Fox isn't a great defender, and Schroder has been putting the team on his back recently, especially that last game against Utah. 58 DraftKings points in that one. Kind of that slower pace game. We might see that against Sacramento, but I think Schroeder's is going to have another great game here going against them. His usage has been up recently, getting his assist up. Without Kent Bazemore, he's really been leading that offense, especially at the guard position, and he's gotten over 30 minutes 3 out of the last 4 games, so that is definitely good to see. His minutes are very consistent recently. So I think he'll be the focal point of the offense yet again in this one. And against Sacramento, like dating way back to the beginning of the year, he had a very good game against this team. They actually blew him out by like 30-plus points back to the beginning portions of the year. Now that they're more depleted and Sacramento has been playing a little bit better in some of these games, I think it'll be close enough where Schroeder has a very good game and should get around 30-plus minutes. And could even flare with a double-double and get over 20 points, honestly, in this game. So lock him in there at a nice price tag. And for my second guy, I'm going to go with James Harden against Detroit. Chris Paul, currently questionable. I'm going to assume he doesn't play, or even if he does play, he kind of just gets less minutes in this game. Like, the Rockets, I believe they're like 3 games up on the Warriors now, so I highly doubt that they're that concerned about the Warriors. The Rockets have been playing so well. And against Detroit, you can definitely win even without Chris Paul in this game. So I think they rest him or give him less minutes, like I said. So James Harden, I think he'll carry the load against Detroit in a very good matchup. He'll be playing that point guard role if Chris Paul is out. We know that Detroit struggles a lot against point guards. Ish Smith is not a great defender, and also Reggie Jackson was coming off that injury. Last game he got 15 minutes, so he's probably a little bit shaking off the cobwebs still a little bit, and he's not a great defender. And also their starting shooting guard, Reggie Bullock, isn't a great defender, so they don't really have guys to stop James Harden this game, and they're playing in Houston. He's been shooting lights out recently, dropping 60-plus DraftKings points in the last 3 games, so I think he can go over 60 yet again in this game against Detroit. They're pretty easy to score on, and they're 36% against the three-point shot. Ever since they lost Avery Bradley, it's definitely a team you can pick on with the shooting guard or the point guard spot. So lock him in there. And for my third guy, Marc Gasol was ruled out for this game tonight. He's resting. So JaMychal Green, he'll probably step into another double-double against Charlotte here. And Dwight Howard, it's looking like he'll be facing a suspension in this game because he got another technical foul. So that means JaMychal Green can have a very easy task of getting some offensive rebounds and just scoring at will down low. He played very well against Brooklyn that game where Marc Gasol was out. The other night, he dropped 46 DraftKings points. So him being that kind of power forward center role for this team, he's going to get some more rebounds. And without Dwight Howard, that would definitely free some things up for him in the post or whatever he wants to do down low. So lock him in there. I think he'll be good for 30-plus DraftKings points, at least 5 times value out of him, and has the upside for 40-plus. So my fourth guy, we're going to go back to the Atlanta Hawks at 5,600. Another guy that I had in my lineup the other night that made me feel like I wanted this to like fly to this guy's house and just give him a hug because he just went absolutely insane. 46 DraftKings points at only 4,800. Did get a salary bump up to 5,600, but it definitely makes sense. We know that Sacramento is very bad against centers this year, and Dewayne Dedmon had a huge game against them all the way back to the beginning of the year. He dropped 55 DraftKings points in that one. Shot 9 for 10 from the field, so like pretty much as good as he can play in that game. And he played well against Utah. Like we know that Gobert's definitely a solid defender. So Dedmon, whenever he gets the minutes, it seems like he plays very well. Against Milwaukee, when he got over 30 minutes, he got 29 DraftKings points. And without John Collins again in this game, they have Mike Muscala playing at that power forward role. He's definitely not a guy down low that's going to be getting any rebounds or stuff like that. And Dedmon was going to be the focal point down low, and then also he can stretch it out to the three-point range. So I think Dedmon is going to get some more shots in this game without John Collins and definitely get some more rebounds with Muscala next to him rather than John Collins. Muscala is not a heavy rebounder compared to John Collins, so I think Dedmon can definitely get a double-double here. With some room for some more points against Sacramento because they are that bad down low. So Dewayne Dedmon, lock him in there. I think he can get 30-plus DraftKings points. Another guy there at a solid mid-level price tag. And for my fifth and final guy, Tyreke Evans. I mentioned that Marc Gasol was out for tonight, and also Dwight Howard is going to be suspended, it's looking like. So Tyreke Evans, that frees some things up for him. I think it'll be a little bit of a faster-paced game when you take Marc Gasol and Dwight Howard out of the game. Those like kind of like slower-paced guys, so they can run the court a little bit faster. And without Dwight Howard, he's definitely their rim protector. So I think Tyreke Evans can drive to the hoop and get some easier finishes against the Charlotte big man. It'll probably be Willie Hernangomez down there, who's not a great defender, maybe Frank Kaminsky. And so those are some guys that Tyreke Evans can definitely finish on a lot easier compared to Dwight the Fright down there. So Tyreke Evans, 7,900, definitely some more usage in this game. He maybe can collect some more rebounds without Marc Gasol because he's definitely a guy that can get some rebounds and get some assists. Marc Gasol is a facilitator in his own right, so Tyreke Evans, he honestly could get like maybe flirt with like a triple-double in this game because Marc Gasol collects so many stats in this up-tempo game without those big men. So if Tyreke Evans, he is pretty volatile. It seems like he decides when he wants to play like an hour before lock. So definitely keep updated with that. But they already said he's going to be back in this game. They did play yesterday, and he's the only guy rested for this game. So Tyreke Evans, he's going to lead the charge. Lock him in there. And that is it for the top 5. You got Schroder, James Harden, JaMychal Green, Dewayne Dedmon, and Tyreke Evans for my Dollar Tree play lottery pick. We're going to go with Willie Hernangomez. Like I mentioned, with Dwight Howard suspended for this game, I think Hernangomez should get the start and get around like 20 to 30 minutes in this game, honestly. So a nice matchup without Marc Gasol. Like I mentioned, Hernangomez has been balling out. Yeah, on the Knicks, he always kind of looked pretty good for me when I saw him play, and he's been playing very well when he's been given the minutes the last couple of games. So I think this is probably the biggest game for Hernangomez, honestly, to prove what he has in this game without Dwight Howard. So like some other teams might give him a look, or the Hornets might keep him and stuff like that. So I think he'll come out here with a chip on his shoulder and have a solid game against Memphis, a team not nearly as good down low defensively without Marc Gasol. So Hernangomez, 3,400, way too cheap for a guy that could be in the starting lineup and a guy that can get points and rebounds, so you can fill it up there. So lock him in there, way too cheap of a price, and that gets you up to 4,600 remaining per player. Definitely doable to fill this out. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Definitely drop a like on the video if you did. I would greatly appreciate it. Let's try to get over 100 likes in this one. Thank you so much if we can do that. And like I've been saying the last couple of days, subscribe if you haven't already. The plays have been very good recently. We're at 30 subscribers and away till I host that tournament. So definitely subscribe if you haven't. We'll get that tournament going quicker rather than later. The NBA season is winding down, so I definitely want to host that for you guys. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you much for all the support. Wish you guys the best of luck on this 6-game slate on Thursday. And definitely follow me on Twitter at MoneyWebby for any updates on these plays. Maybe I'll go a different direction if anything changes with some of these guys on this slate. You never know, but now that we're getting later in the season, we get some late news. It seems more rather than beginning of the year and stuff like that. So definitely follow me there at MoneyWebby. But good luck tonight, guys. Let's make some money. MLB season coming up. I'll be doing daily videos for that as well. So subscribe if you're interested in that. And we'll see you back here again on Friday.